The project focuses on net blotch diseases of barley, and currently a lot of growers are growing susceptible varieties. There are three main fungicide groups that they can use in terms of fungicide management. The main group is DMI, which is the focus of the project, and there are a lot of DMI mutations in terms of fungicide resistance.
So the Barley Cohort Project was set up to try and directly engage with grain producers across particularly the southern part of Western Australia. When the project was initiated, we knew that the pathogen was complex. We knew that it was evolving and was changing quickly. But what we didn't know was just how complex that actually was. So this project's been essential. It's allowed us to get year-on-year samples from across a broad range of different production systems and producers and all their different inputs and all their different farming styles. And with that, we've been able to then look at how fungicide resistance has evolved across the landscape.
During the course of the project, we recruited 250 farmers, and there are about 30 agronomists. We've got 4 years of samples, and in the last 2 years of the project, the main result was that 95% of the paddocks had mutation detected in them for DMI fungicide resistance. Important findings were that mutations can vary within a paddock. They can vary between different paddocks on the same farm, and they can vary at a regional level. Another important finding is that because we have information about farmer management of disease and their use of fungicides, we know that there are still a lot of changes and improvements that farmers can make in terms of managing disease and fungicide resistance.
The results from this piece of work have been absolutely critical for two reasons. One is it's allowed us to understand the fungicide resistance that's emerged within the landscape and to be able to give advice to be able to manage that more effectively across the different forms of resistance that occur. So the messages from AFRIN, they're around sustaining fungicides and fungicide uses are absolutely critical for everybody to refer to, and I'd refer you back to the AFRIN webpage for that. But also at the same time, what's become really important and really obvious is just how important interaction between fungicide management and the genetics of the host have become, and as we see some really nice new, somewhat resistant genetics starting to come through the system, it's absolutely critical that we have the fungicide management processes in place that allowed us to sustain low disease pressure with those new varieties, and that information is going to be critical going forward.